says, from what I have learned, wigs are not permitted to be worn. My relative has bought a long braided wig for her granddaughter to wear when she's playing. She is a girl of 4 years. Is it permissible? Is this permitted? First of all, what's the ruling on wearing wigs? Well, there isn't anything in Islam that refers to wigs per se. What is there is the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him and others, where the Prophet ﷺ cursed a number of women for things that change the nature of a woman and the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the Prophet ﷺ cursed the women and the ones who do this to them, the tattoos. So tattooing in Islam is totally prohibited, whether it's being implemented on this person or the person doing it and charging for it, even if he does it for free or she does it for free. They're both cursed. The Prophet ﷺ cursed the women who pluck their eyebrows, whether by plucking, by shaving, or by cutting by scissors. This is all prohibited. Those who do it to themselves and those who do it to others, both are cursed. The Prophet ﷺ cursed those who connect their hair with other hair. So if her hair is this long and she braids it with an extension so it looks longer, or she puts something underneath her hair to make her hair so thick and bulky, so those who see her would think that she has a long hair, she is cursed, and the hairdressers are cursed as well. And likewise, those who put fake eyelashes that are so long and big. Again, some scholars consider this to be as connecting or attaching an extension to the hair. And also the Prophet ﷺ, and this was applied at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, at the time of the Arabs, they used to consider filming, I think it's the right verb, the teeth, the front two teeth, so that you leave a gap between them, so when you smile, at the time it was beautiful, or maybe it's not now, but the issue of filming your teeth and fixing it in a way to look beautiful, this is also an issue where a person who does this and the dentist who does this are both cursed. So is wearing bracelets considered to be part of this? Well, if you're fixing your teeth so that it would look beautiful without any medical need, such as it's not impairing your speech and it's not impairing your ability to eat, but you just want to have nice teeth, it falls under the same category of sin, and those who do it are cursed. So this is the main topics of hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him. And when a woman came to him and said, how do you curse people who are not cursed in the Quran and the Sunnah? In the Quran, that is. Because I read it from cover to cover and I didn't find anything in referring to this. He said, it is in the Quran. She said, where? He said, Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Whatever the Prophet ﷺ brings to you as an instruction and order, you have to follow. And whatever he forbids and tells you to stay away from, you have to refrain. Then the woman looked again to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and said, okay, this sounds logical. Okay, we have to believe and follow the Prophet's instruction, but maybe your wife and daughters do this, so you're commanding us with things that your own family don't do. And he told her, this is my house, go in and look and come out and tell me. So the woman goes in for 5-10 minutes, looks around, and she meets his wife and his daughters, and then she comes back and says, by Allah, I saw what pleases Allah. You're right, I haven't seen any sign of these cursed things with or on your wife or your daughters. He said, by Allah, if you had seen anything of what I've warned of and narrated the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, they would not have been my family, meaning that he would disown them and he would divorce the wife because she is disobedient to the instruction of the Prophet ﷺ. So the scholars looked at these hadiths, or this hadith in particular, and said, if it's not permissible to attach an extension to your braid or to your hair, then it's even worse to wear a wig. So wearing wigs is totally prohibited in Islam, with the exception if someone loses his hair in an unnatural way. So someone who's like 30, 40, may Allah Azza wa Jal preserve our dear listeners and viewers, and me as well with them. If someone gets cancer and he goes or undergoes chemotherapy, and he, due to that, has a lot of hair loss and he's completely bald, or she is completely bald, in this case, this is a defect. This is something that is not natural. That is why it is permissible for him or her to wear a wig and to hide this defect. May Allah cure all our Muslim patients and cure all patients of all faiths and restore their health back to them. Now, for your question, Fadliya, what bothers you most, I believe, that this is a 4-year-old girl, so she is not held accountable on the Day of Judgment. So what's wrong in her wearing a cap with braids attached to it, so anyone who looks at her says, MashaAllah, look at these long braids, and she looks cute, she looks funny. She's 4 years old. And this is an issue that most parents seem to neglect, and they always ask themselves questions, if she's not accountable, so why should I care? Well, the child is not accountable. The parents are.